Hello viewers, apni ansai se Hornbill TV. Rookie Dagia Nishna aji 2023 polls laga result declare hua dikhi baishe aro etude Fort Kaspani 1 laga constituency kundu Nagaland de sobse dangor constituency ase. Etude charda candidates thagishe aro BJP laga candidate Jacob Jimomi bishi dangor margin bra jidishe. Jimomi bra independent candidate V Pushka Awomi ke 20,096 votes para harai dishe. Jimomi Hornbill TV ke gota kuria homoy goshi ki jitia do bishi khushi bai ase aro tai laga supporters sobke thanks dia laga gota bi janai dishe. IB do laga details sawo.
One of the biggest margins so far, sir. So we could see from people's faces that they were very confident since morning. So did you have the same, thing towards that, sir? The confidence?
No, I'm taken aback by the resounding victory, and I want to thank all my supporters from the constituency for having utmost faith in me, for reposing their faith in me, and I'm indebted to them. We shall all work together for the development of the constituency and the state to move forward. Yeah.
Sir, so, we have followed you in your entire 5 days campaign, and we have also seen you speak to people, and we have seen a lot of people arrive just to listen to you and see the vision and the agendas you have for this constituency, sir. So, starting today, do they see this come to pass, the promises of developments you have made for them, sir?
Yeah, today's victory, my victory today, is a victory for all of us. And this is a victory of BJP for India. We have implemented the welfare schemes of the Government of India headed by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. And we went to the grassroots level, bringing development at the doorstep. So people believed in the policies and programs of the government headed by the Honorable Prime Minister Modi. And today they have given us the resounding victory of having more than 20,000 margin. So you all are aware that we had 5 contestants in the Kaspani 1 Assembly constituency, and the largest constituency in the state, comprising of all the 17 tribes and minorities. So this is the fate of the people in the government in the last 5 years, and I thank the Honorable PM. I'm very happy that Amit Shah ji came, and it had boosted our morale, and many central ministers arrived in the last 1 month. So this has given impetus to the electorate to believe and to actually see that there is development on ground. And the icing on cake was the Honorable Prime Minister arriving at the Agri Expo, which is my assembly constituency. And so as promised by the Government of India headed by Honorable PM. So never before during the Congress regime, we never had in the last 10 years during the UPA Sarkar, no Prime Minister visited Nagaland. And so our PM, Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, he had practiced what he preached. And the northeastern states, including the state of Nagaland, we have believed in his leadership. There have been infrastructural growth, a tremendous growth, airways, roadways, railways. After 100 years gap, we had the railway station at Chokhuvi, which is going to be a lifeline to many people having small-scale industries or cottage industries. Trade and commerce at the local level will be boosted, not only intra, but even outside the state. So from the economic perspective, people are going to be uplifted. Development through transportation, There's going to be a transformation through transportation. So communication has been a priority, headed by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. And today, the victory, the thumping victory, for instance, in my constituency, where all Nagas reside in this constituency, former chief ministers, present chief ministers, former governors, or people who are working with the civil society groups, former bureaucrats, retired bureaucrats, existing bureaucrats, and people. It's a very intellectual constituency, and it's a very challenging constituency. But we have done it, BJP for India, BJP for Nagaland, we have done it. So this is a victory of BJP for Nagaland.
The NDPP-BJP alliance took a historic move when they distributed 3 tickets to 3 women, and we have seen 2 women victory for today, sir. Hekani and Salhutunyo Kruse. What would you say on that? Because I'm sure a lot of women and girls will be seeing their tiny dreams in them, and it finally stood up, sir. So do you think Nagaland will be seeing a new era starting today? And you know, even ULB elections are coming up. So do you see a bright future, especially for the women here in Nagaland, sir?
We have always believed in the empowerment of our women. We love our women, and Naga women are far ahead than many from that perspective across the world. So that is how we decided to field women candidate. We are going for ULB elections very soon with 33% women reservation. So we believe in the leadership of women. Honorable Prime Minister is very clear about it. We have Union Cabinet Ministers in his ministry. So all states must implement the quota for women, and I think it is high time that our women gets into the policy making, decision making authority, like for Legislative Assembly, or even for the Member of Parliament, which we have sent Srimati Ms. Phangnon as a Rajya Sabha MP. Followed suit by Vidhan Sabha election, we had fielded 3 women candidates. Fortunate that 2 has won, unfortunate that 1 has lost. But this is going to be the starting point, and women will always be an integral part of the process, nation building process. So Naga women should come ahead, and this is going to be an inspirational story for all of them. I'm sure there will be aspiring candidates in future, even in the local bodies, which we are anticipating very soon from now. Yeah.
So a very light question also. I'm sure a lot of common people like us, you know, will be anticipating or even be thinking what a minister or a person, a candidate who just won will do next. So, you know, like even today also, will the people witness celebrations, and, you know, like even Himanta Biswa Sarma also was also the first person who came on the day of your nomination also, sir. So will he also be a part of the celebration again, sir? And also everyone here, what's next, sir?
Yes, as far as the developmental process, it is going to be a process, so it will not end now. It will continue in the next 5 years as well. And as far as celebration is concerned, we'll be very happy to host chief ministers, honorable chief ministers from the various states in the country. And I'm sure I'm very thankful to HCM Himanta Biswa Sharma ji for coming for my nomination. And it's an open invitation to everybody who wants to come and rejoice and celebrate the victory of the PDA government for the 2nd consecutive term with the NDPP and BJP.
So this was Hornbill TV speaking to the PhD Minister Jacob Jimomui, who once again won in the 2023 elections with a huge margin. The supporters behind me has been here since 8 a.m. waiting for the close down of the counting, and they've witnessed the victorious winning of their candidate once again, Jacob Jimomui, who will be representing Gaspani 1 in the assemblies again. So like as we have spoke to Mr. Jacob Jimomui, he said that development will slowly come, but also at the same time the people should wait and also be cooperative. Not just that, but he also said that there will be celebrations even in the coming days. And just like Himanta Biswa Sarma came on the day of his nominations, he also said that the celebration will be open, and even the chief ministers of the other northeastern states will also be invited to come and partake in this celebration. I'm reporter Kia Christian Yukiewo with camera person Singban for Hornbill TV.
Nagaland has created history by electing 2 women candidates, Salhutunyo Kruse and Hekani Chakalu, for the first time in the 2023 Assembly election on Thursday. Both candidates are from the ruling Nationalist Democratic Progressive Party. Kruse won from the Western Angami AC and Hekani Jakalu clinched Dimapur 3 constituencies. The 47-year-old Jakalu defeated Ajedo Jimomi of LJP Ramvilas by a margin of more than 1,500 votes, while Kruse defeated Kenizako Nakro by 7 votes.
That shows that by the grace of God I won. Yeah.
How are you going to celebrate your victory?
Yeah, I will meet my supporters and we will pray together and we will have a party. A feast. Thank you.
Jakalu Kensei is a US-educated lawyer turned social entrepreneur and founder of YouthNet. She has also got the Nari Shakti Puraskar Award from the President of India at Rashtrapati Bhavan on International Women's Day.
Honestly, I was at peace. After the elections, the voting took place. We had done our own assessment and yes, of course, not a very, very big margin, but according to our assessment, we were showing that the win will be ours. So this morning, we had 11 rounds. So I know there are some bastion which belongs to Ajatosa and some are stronghold. So the first part was in between. I mean, it's okay. I was not at any point of time, was I nervous or my team nervous? We knew that we were going to win.
Yes. Yeah. Ma'am, during your campaign, we have heard what you have promised to do, not just for Dimapur 3, but for the youth and the women. But now you have been announced as the first woman since 1963. So how does this now change? How does the game, the ball is in your court now. So how does it change for the whole of Nagaland?
It gets better because before the elections, I'm making promises, but I'm not too sure. As in, I know, whether it's my win or not, I know that I had the responsibility to fulfill. But now, the power is in our hands, so now we'll be able to execute it. I'm confident about that.
And so, ma'am, what is your vision for Nagaland, particularly for women?
First of all, I want to tell all the women folks in Nagaland, and all the Naga women, this is our win. I fought for them. For me, the responsibility, yes, as a candidate, but more so because I really wanted this to be the win, for women and to really start a new chapter for women. And I know this win will be an inspiration to many, many younger girls. And I know that things will get better for our women. And when things get better for our women, things will get better for our state. See, women, women kanto, by nature, by nature, we are compassionate. By nature, our love is more. We are more sensitive to people's feelings and what people think about, just more sensitive to people. On top of that, I also feel that women can be more honest and we have more integrity. And I also say, and I keep on saying this before I say anything, that with due respect to men, men have a lot of ego problems also when they're sitting there and trying to talk, but I think women are more, they'll be more humble and they'll be able to, when they understand, because it's about policy making. When you're talking about legislative assembly, it's about policy making. And when you're talking policy, it's important that you understand things holistically and you're more sensitive to issues, you understand people's need and you understand what people want. So I think women carries that with them. I want to still fight for reservation for women. I still think women needs that reservation. And I'll talk to my Madam Salotonio, and I really congratulate her also. I'm really excited for both of us. Yes, but yes, now with two. One also maybe, how much ever a person fights, it's always powerful when you have two. So I'm really excited for her also and for all the women in Nagaland. No, it's my family. It's a family fight. My mom, my husband, my in-laws, my brothers. It's a family fight. They took the responsibility and the burden, I should say, and the heartaches and all those ups and downs equally or more than me. So I really want to thank my family. The ticket helped me a lot. I mean, it helped me a lot. So credit goes to NDPP party.
So, madam, ite amni chair te boyola se apni laga first priority ito journey de ki take up krina lo jawole muna se.
My constituency, I really want to See, when I say my constituency, I really have to start from the scratch. It's not about I have to start from the start, which means I have to do an assessment and a study of everything. I've been talking about schools, because when I talk about unemployment, it starts from schools. I'm going to do this whole aspiration mapping of young people first. And also, I'm going to do an assessment of all the schools, because I want to start there. Healthcare system. I want to do an assessment of all the villages. And eventually, I'll do an assessment of the household. I want to try my best to make sure that no person is left behind. I don't think it's going to be a challenge. I don't think it's going to be a challenge, because I believe today, Nagas have also accepted. Nagas have accepted women in politics, with my own example and with the example of Madam Kruse. So, I mean, it's okay. We are all equal. There's nothing as women and men. We all bring our own expertise. We'll bring our own experiences, and we'll bring our own personalities. And I'm sure that will be a good, beautiful mix of old, young, women, men. Of course, when you lose, because it's almost life and death. Like while here on earth, while we're still alive, this battle is about life and death. So definitely there'll be many, many people who'll be having a difficult time, the candidate and the supporters as well. But I want to first reach out to my other candidates in Dimapur 3. You know, all of them gave a really good fight, and especially to my the MLA Ajeto. Their team gave a really good fight, but in whatever way, he's also been the father of this constituency, and definitely I would like to seek his blessing and his support, so that together, his guidance, his experience, so that we can do good work for Dimapur 3. And when I was going to the polls for the election day, I've been really, really praying. I think historically, this is the first time where no violence has taken place in Dimapur 3, because this is supposed to be a place where violence and muscle power, a lot of things that happened in the past. But Dimapur 3 had one of the most peaceful elections. I don't want to take the credit for this, but I've been really praying. Of course, everyone prays, so that it will be God's will to win. That was one of my prayer agenda. And the other one was that God will take care of this constituency, and no bloodshed or violence will take place in my Dimapur 3, and God's angels will protect Dimapur 3, and I really believe that our prayers were answered.
Since Nagaland got its statehood in 1963, it was yet to get a woman MLA in the 60-member assembly. Not that women has not contested for election, but they have never been voted to power. This year, the 4 women candidates who contested elections are Jalia Rio, Rosie Thompson of the Congress, and Kahuli Sema of the BJP. Nagaland has had only one woman, Rano M. Shaiza, back in 1977, who was elected to the Lok Sabha. In 2022, S. Pangnon Konyak was elected as the BJP Rajya Sabha member from Nagaland and became the first woman to get a seat in the upper house. 4 women candidates, Hekani Jalia, Salotonio Kruse, Hukali Sema, and Rosie Thompson contested the Nagaland Assembly election this time. After retaining the Kaspani 2 seat, the NDPP candidate Jalia Rio gave credit to God for his victory and also thanked the people for reposing their faith in his leadership. Rio also congratulated his opponents for the good fight. When asked about fulfilling the aspiration of the 2 districts, he said when it comes to development, there is no separation.
2 opponents, they fought very well, and they secured well also, because they have reduced my winning margin.
So how are you going to celebrate today?
We have prepared one pork khana as usual, and my party men, they are very angry because late lunch.
Any message for your supporters?
No, I thank them, as I have said, and they have faith in me. So I will also do what is best for them. That only our Chief Minister in waiting can reply.
Okay, sir. Also, are you confident that you will come back to cabinet, sir?
That my leader, he will decide.
So what will be your first focus on, like, since you are going now?
No, see, whatever assignment the leader gives, I will do. And I'm also an experienced politician. And I have many works done, many are ongoing, many are in the pipeline. But my works will also confine to whatever assignment I would be getting. Maybe it's my good relationship with public. And I also had a very clear bureaucracy record. So I think all these factors combined. And yes, finally, with God's help. See, this creation of erstwhile district, Dimapur into 3, has disturbed the mind of the voters because there were many people apprehensive about the coming delimitation. But I assure them, I will not be, if elected, only leader of one particular assembly council, but I will be a Naga leader. So I said there's no separation when it comes to development or when it comes to public welfare.
Well, that was the Gaspani 2 candidate, Jalia Rio, belonging from the NDP party, who secured victory in Gaspani 2 Assembly constituency with a vote of about 11,293. Well, he expressed his gratitude to the voters of Gaspani 1 Assembly constituency and thanked them for believing in him once again. And also he looks forward to bring development in his constituency. When asked about how he would fulfill the aspirations of the 2 new districts, the people in the 2 new districts, he said that when it comes to development, there will be no separation, and he, being a Naga leader, he will focus on inclusive development and growth, and that he will take the whole assembly constituency forward. Well, he also spoke about how he was because of his past history of being a successful administrator and other features, that's how he was able to get the mandate of Gaspani 2 Assembly constituency. Well, there was the winner of the NDPP, Jalia Rio, and who will be going back to the Nagaland Legislative Assembly for the next 5 years, representing Gaspani 2 Assembly constituency. Well, if you look at the vote count just behind my back, he's won it with about 11,293 votes. And the second candidate is from the RPI, or Republican Party of India, Athwale group. That is Kashto Yepthomi with about 7,165 votes. When asked about if he is going to get a cabinet position, he said that depends on the leader of his party. So very soon all these discussions will be coming on at the moment, but what he intended on was that he would now go back home and have a small pork curry, and also he would go celebrate it with his supporters. Well, that was the ground report from here, DC Complex in Chumugidima, with camera person Joy for Hornbill TV, Chumugidima.
For more news and updates, keep watching Hornbill TV.